You. Whiskey.
Hey, kid. You the one telling everybody your name is John Hartman?
That's right.
All right, get moving. Look, Sonny, I don't like a smart boy. Smart boy who rides in claiming the name of a fast gun like Hartman.
The fastest.
He must have found somebody better. He's been dead for years.
There's nobody better and he ain't dead.
You go on bragging you're John Hartman, you'll be dead. That's why you're riding out of here, Sonny, before somebody decides to see if your hand is quick enough to back up a name like that. Now, you got just 15 minutes.
Marshal, my hand's quick enough. I'm gonna prove it. Right now. My name is John Hartman, Marshal. John Hartman, Jr. Now, does that answer everybody's questions?
I reckon that young'un there'll do. Only Tate?
He's got the name and the gun. He'll do just fine.
Say you could get up.
I'm not in the habit of asking permission.
Oh, and maybe you're somebody important in this town, huh?
In every town. Name's Tate Masters.
Tate Masters. I don't believe that. I don't believe that any more than the Marshal believed who I was.
I could prove it. In the same way. But I'd rather you'd stayed alive.
You might have to back up talk like that, mister. Think you can do it?
If I can't, my friends can. Ozark Billy. Joaquin Avila. Dude Morgan. Now come on over and join us, kid. I want to talk to you.
You can talk from there.
Deputy, you read the posters. Did I lie about myself or my friends?
Nope. You told the truth, Mr. Masters.
Barkeep, bring another bottle. Mr. Hartman is joining us.
That's them, all right. And I never even noticed them when they came in.
I never seen them come into town either.
They're all loners, every one of them. I never heard of loners banding together like this. Generally, they shoot each other just to prove who's the fastest.
Yeah, no.
You're very good, senor. For a young hombre. Maybe in a couple of years, you even be matched for Joaquin Avila, huh?
Enough, Joaquin. That's the first thing to learn, kid. No contests among the group or we defeat our purpose.
Purpose?
Just you pay attention to old Tate here, young fella. He's gonna tell you something mighty interesting. Whole new idea about how us fellas ought to act.
How much money you got, kid?
Not very much. Why?
That's the way it's always been with men in our trade. Big reputation, but no money to speak of. Well, we're gonna change all that. Fix it so we can all retire before the day comes we get careless. And that day always comes for a gun, one way or another, like it did for your old man.
Don't say that. Listen, nobody could have got him. Nobody. And he's still alive, I know it. And I'm looking for him.
Well, if he isn't dead, he's been hiding out for years. How do you expect to find him?
He'll find me. He'll hear about John Hartman, Jr., and he'll be glad to let me know he's alive.
You aim to make him proud of you, is that it?
What if it is?
If you figure to do nothing but not your gun, maybe we don't want you with us.
Lay off, dude. The point is, you can go on looking for your old man, walking into places like this, showing your gun, and walking out with nothing but a free drink or two. Or with us, you walk in, never have to use your gun, and you walk out with a few $1,000s in your pocket.
If your padre is around, he will know who you are.
And how are we gonna get this money?
Like this. Barkeep, tell everybody to quiet down. I've got something to say.
All right, fellas, hold it down. Be quiet. Mr. Masters has something to say.
My friends and I, we like your little town. And as much as we'd like to stay for a while, we have to move on. Only trouble is, traveling costs money. Now, I'm sure you wouldn't want to see us have to stay here for any length of time. So I figured you'd all be more than glad to help us out. Say, whatever you have in your pockets on the table. Or behind the bar. Every cent you can scrape up in this room. Of course, this is only a small town. And this is chicken feed. We're gonna meet some friends in Tulsa. Ira Young, Henry Jessup. Miles, heard of him?
Who hasn't?
I figure we'll be an even dozen before we're through. There isn't any town, even city, that won't pay off to keep 12 guns moving on this. And we split it even.
We could line our pockets with thousands of dollars. Maybe even 100,000, huh?
I guess your old man will be pretty proud of you then, huh, kid?
Yeah, I guess he sure would be. He sure enough would be.
There's nothing quite like a fundraising social to bring out community spirit in people. And it brings together a lot of good friends who don't get into town to see each other quite often enough. It would have done my dad's heart a lot of good to see what happened in the town he dreamed of. To see the kind of people who had decided to make their homes here. It hadn't been easy, and it still wasn't. But today nobody was thinking about what hardships and problems might lie ahead. We had a town, and we were going to raise enough money to build a church with a real pipe organ. If we had to have ice cream socials every Sunday afternoon for the rest of the year. My name is Matt Rockford. I'm the mayor of this town we call Cimarron City.
Quiet, everybody! Quiet, please. Ladies and gentlemen, as mayor of the fastest growing community in the territory, that will someday become the state capital, that is if Congress decides to make us a state.
No campaign speeches, Matt. Just tell everybody how much we collected this time.
Thank you, Beth. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to call upon that prominent rancher, the most popular man in town, only because he's holding the church building funds. Who is the worst cribbage player and the best apple cider maker in the territory, your friend and mine, Will Buckley.
I don't care what he says about me. I'll still vote for him in the next mayor's election. Now, to the business at hand. The last balance of the church building fund, and I haven't spent a nickel of it for personal reasons, yet, is $1,931.48. Now, today's collection, surpassing all others, $274.93. For the grand total of $2,206.41.
Now let's give our thanks to the fine ladies who brought all this fine food. And to the young ladies and gentlemen who showed off their muscles while turning the ice cream freezers. And of course to Beth Purcell for the use of her front yard. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we paid for it, so let's get it.
Hey, Matt. What is it, Lane?
What do you make of that?
Looks like another gang on the run. Hope they don't try to invite themselves to the party. Let's give them an invitation to leave. Hey, Matt. See that fella in front? On the sorrel? Yeah. I'd swear that was Tate Masters. Are you sure? Almost every stage comes through carries another wanted poster on him. The reward goes up $1,000 every time a law matches guns with him trying to bring him in. That's not the only one I recognize. Fellow to the right, Harry Youngman. Next to him, Henry Jessup. Over here, Joaquin Avila. I don't believe this, Matt. It doesn't make any sense.
Hey, mister, you, with the badge on. I want to see the head man in this town.
This is the mayor. Will he do?
Yeah, he'll do. Mr. Mayor, my name is Tate Masters.
My name is Rockford.
Ever heard of me?
Yeah, I've heard of you.
Good. Now I'd like to introduce my friends. This is Henry Jessup.
Justin Herman, Ira Youngman, Miles Hannibal, Drummer Quentin, Ace Sebastian, Tiny Budinger, Joaquin Avila, young fella here, John Hartman, Jr., Ozark Billy, and Dude Morgan.
Pretty impressive group. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Rockford?
I'm impressed, Mr. Masters. What now?
Now?
Yeah.
We discuss business.
You got a nice town here, Rockford. What would you say if I told you my men and I decided to make Cimarron City our headquarters?
I'd say we wouldn't like it very much. There's nothing here for you, Masters. So why don't you make it easy on all of us and move on?
I can appreciate how you feel, Rockford. We might just do that. For a consideration.
Why don't you say what you mean?
You want plain talk, Rockford?
Yeah.
All right. Any one of us happen to come into your town alone might cause quite a stir. There's something about a reputation kind of throws a scare into town folks. You might have a little trouble finding a man willing to do something about it. You know as well as I do. One fast gun can move into a town, and if there isn't somebody faster, he can run that town. Am I right so far, Mr. Rockford?
It's happened, I guess?
Yeah, it's happened. Now you multiply that kind of trouble by 12, Mr. Rockford. Give you a rough idea what could happen to Cimarron City.
You want us to pay for the privilege of not having you stay around here, is that it?
You're following me. Now, I wouldn't want you to make the impulsive mistake of refusing to cooperate. So you'll have till tomorrow at sundown. It'll take you till then to raise the money. It's a substantial amount. $50,000, Mr. Rockford. And you can go back to having your ice cream socials undisturbed. $50,000 by tomorrow, sundown. You'll be instructed where to pay it. Come on, boys.
That's the most outrageous thing I ever heard.
Hold it. Hold it down, everybody. Now, let's not lose our heads about this thing, or somebody might get hurt. A lot of people, maybe. Now, let there be no mistake about it. Masters meant what he said. They can give us $50,000 worth of trouble, and they will.
Are you saying we ought to pay him that?
I'm not going to make that decision by myself, Lane. It's up to you folks. What we've got to decide is how bad you want to keep what you've got, and what you'd be willing to pay to defend it.
$50,000 is a lot of money. It wouldn't be easy to raise it in cash.
We're going to lose something, Silas, no matter which way they go.
What do you think, Matt?
I think a lot of this town, Beth. Maybe because of my dad, I look at things a little different than the rest of you folks.
I don't think you do, Matt. We've all got a big stake in Cimarron City. A lot of us have grown up with her. Same as you.
People want to know what you think, Matt.
All right, I'll tell you what I think. When a man comes to my front door and tells me that I've got to pay for the privilege of living in peace in my own home, then I say that man's got a fight on his hands.
That's the way to talk, Mr. Rock. Them fellas can't push us around.
Does everybody feel the same way? Is there anybody who doesn't?
Yes. I say we raise the money. Pay them off. There'll be people killed if we don't, Matt.
Well, there are a lot of people killed in war, too. And that's kind of what we're facing. An invasion of our land, our town, our homes.
No, it isn't the same thing, Matt. We can buy ourselves out of this war. Isn't one human being's life worth more than the price of $50,000?
Well, I won't argue with you about that. But if we give them the money, that's only the start of it. They'll bleed us dry. Now, there won't be a town left when they get through. That's what we've got to face.
We don't know that for sure. Maybe they will move on.
Where's your pride, Will? You think any of us could look each other in the eye and know that we knuckled down and scum like that? You're saying that the only choice we have is to crawl like a bunch of cowards?
That's just your youth talking, Lane. I'm saying we gotta weigh lives against money. That's all. They're professionals. Every time one of them empties his gun, there'll be 5 of us dead. Now, Matt, you know what I say is true.
It's not just for us here in Cimarron. It's for every man, every family, every town in the territory. As long as there are men like Tate Masterson around, they'll always be a threat to the things we're trying to build. It's up to us to cut them down. And I don't think we have a choice in the matter. If we don't fight what they stand for, we might just as well pull up stakes and run.
I say Matt's right. We fight him. Are you with us?
Sure. They're right, Will. You know they are.
We're going home.
But you can't go against everybody. You can't stand alone.
There won't be a party to it.
Elizabeth, we're leaving.
All right, Mother.
Sorry, Susan.
I'll talk to him, Matt. Maybe you'll see things differently when he cools down.
Thanks, Susan.
What got into him, Matt? Doesn't sound like Will Buckley at all.
I can't understand it either, Beth. To disagree is one thing, but to turn his back on all of us... he must have a good reason.
Elizabeth, go in the kitchen and make some sandwiches and coffee, will you?
Yes, Mother.
I love you, Will. Because I do, I want you to tell me what's bothering you.
I'm going to. Hoping I wouldn't have to. For 7 years, I've been waiting for this day, knowing it'd come. And every day for 7 years, I've been afraid I might lose you and Elizabeth. If you ever found out what I was before I came here.
You'd never lose us, Will. Look, I've known for a long time something was wrong, but I didn't know what it was. I married you the way I found you, not the way you might have been before. Look, Elizabeth couldn't love you any more if you were a real father.
Susan, I am a real father. A young boy, not yet 20. His mother died, and his aunt took him to raise when I got in trouble.
What kind of trouble, Will?
Oh, I was young. I was so young I didn't realize what it would mean when I shot the man who had the reputation of being Tucson's best gunfighter. Well, he drew first, but I beat him. I didn't know it meant that I had taken his place. One foolish gunshot, Susan. Just one. And I spent the next 11 years trying to defend my life and a reputation I just didn't want.
I understand now, Will. I understand why you were so against fighting those men. Against the kind of thing you've gotten away from.
Susan, you don't understand. The reason I can't fight is because I'd be shooting at my own son.
Will.
Tate Masters said the name. John Hartman Jr., and there he was. 19 years old, sitting on that horse, trying to live up to his father's reputation. As proud of the name John Hartman as I'm ashamed of it.
But you can't blame yourself, Will.
Who else can I blame, Susan? It's my name he's wearing. My past he's reliving. Susan, I'm one of them. Just as sure as if I was on a horse right beside them. Beside my son.
No, Dad.
Elizabeth, I'm sorry I had to hear it. I'm sorry about everything.
Don't you ever be sorry for what you are. And don't you say that you belong with him, because Mother and I won't stand for it, do you hear? You belong right here with us.
Susan, what can I do about this? He's still my flesh and blood. I can't go with them to gun him down. And I can't tell Matt and the others why.
Of course you can't.
I can't defend John either. If I could just go to him and tell him he's all wrong. Tell him how wrong I was before it's too late. Maybe that's the answer, Susan. If I could find out where they're camped.
No, Will. No, you can't. Don't try that. They'd kill you.
Yeah, they'd kill Will Buckley, but not John Hartman. They'd welcome John Hartman back from the dead.
Will, don't take this on yourself. Not when there's so many other people involved.
You're right. I'll have to tell Matt. But I won't let him stop me.
Dad, Mother's crying.
You know I have to do it. I'm coming back, Elizabeth, and maybe I'll bring a brother for you. Let me see you smile.
Señorita. Oh, no, please do not scream. Would only bring your mother out. I would have to kill her.
How did you get here?
On my horse. Senor Masters, he said, follow the first people who leave the town and bring back a hostage. That is you, señorita. Ay, and such a pretty hostage. Senor Masters is a very smart hombre, no?
Get those wagons moving.
Matt, I'll take Doty with me. He's good at tracking.
Well, take your time and be careful, Lane. All you have to do is find out where they're camped. Don't try to bring them in single-handed.
Don't worry, I got too much living to do.
Just in case, Lane. Doty, come on.
Right with you, Mr. Temple.
These are 44's men.
You aim and attack those fellows right where they're camped, Miss Brown?
If we can get at them, yes. Now, let's not kid ourselves. It's going to be their lives or ours. We're going to have to take every advantage we possibly can. The first thing we're going to do is barricade the street at both ends. About here, and down there just beyond Beth's house.
The other ladies and I will see there's plenty of food and coffee. Goodness knows there's enough food left on the tables, untouched.
What about folks out of town, Miss Brown? On the ranches?
We're going to have to warn them, Jess. You take Hank Yoakum and some of the men and get to as many places as you possibly can. Tell them if they can't join us here, to call in their hands and guard their own places.
Yes, sir, I'll do that right away. Would you fellas like to take a little Sunday afternoon ride with me?
Now, these are 44s, 45. Just help yourself, gentlemen.
If any of you fellas are still toting an old Sharps or a Spencer, maybe I can help you out inside.
Those of you who don't have to go home and fetch your guns, you can start barricading. Use anything you can find. Old crates, bales of hay, wagons, anything. Just get the street filled in from one side to the other.
There they are. You figured it right, Doty. They found the hole behind the fold. You're up there on the plateau. You know what that means?
I sure do, Mr. Temple. Means there ain't no way getting them down till they're ready to come.
Ollie! Ollie! Drop that gun! Drop! Supposed to bring you in alive, but that ain't an ironclad rule, so I'll leave your boat on it. So I'll leave it up to you.
What about him?
You hightail it back to town as fast as you can get and tell him the deputy's gonna stay with us for a little while. And tell him where we are, too. Get! Bring both horses, the walk will do him good. Come on, move.
mistake, didn't you? Got real brave. Decided you're gonna make a fight out of it. We expected that, Deputy. We expected somebody to track us, and we expect they'll be surprised back in town when they find out we're a jump ahead of them. Surprised enough to start raising that money.
Don't count on it, Masters.
Don't you count on living. You can't keep your mouth shut. Tie him over on that tree over there. You're gonna have company pretty soon. Tiny, take care of those horses.
Here you are. I figured if you had a new rifle, you'd stand a better chance of being around when this is over to pay your bill.
Somebody's coming!
Matt! Matt! Matt!
What is it, Silas?
Somebody's coming out here, toting another fella in.
Whoa, Buckley, open up the barricade.
Captured Lane, Matt. They're holed up on the plateau behind the fall. It'll take an army to get him out.
They let me go a purpose.
The wound isn't too bad, Dodie. I'll get some dressings and fix it for you.
You still think it's smart to fight him?
If anything happens to Lane, there's no doubt about it.
Matt, let's raise the money. We'll make a deal with him to get Lane back before we pay it.
Will, you can't make a deal with men like that. They'd just soon deliver Lane dead as alive. They'd get the money and we'd still have a fight on our hands.
Mr. Rocky got Hank Yoakum, two of them outlaws. They were too far away for us to do anything about it.
Did they kill him?
No, sir, they just rode down on him, took him prisoner.
Well, do you want to hold out a little longer, Matt? You want to wait while they pick off the whole town, one by one?
We've still got time on our side. We've still got until sundown tomorrow.
I haven't.
What's on your mind, Will? Why are you so set against making a fight of it?
Matt? Matt? Before I found the right kind of life, my name was John Hartman. Yeah. And the boy that was riding with Tate Masters, John Hartman, Jr. You want me to gun down my own son?
I knew you had a good reason.
I came back to town for only one thing. To tell you that I gotta go up to the plateau and see my son. To get him away from Tate Masters before he makes too many of the same mistakes that I did. They got Lane. And they got Yoakum. Now, I just can't barge up there and jeopardize their lives. Dodie told me that it was my son who took Lane. Matt, you've got to understand this. He's my son. I'm responsible for what he is. I got to help him if I can.
Will, I understand how you feel. I'm sorry about your boy. I wish I could promise that he wouldn't get hurt if the shooting starts. But he's just one person. You can't stack that up against all the people. He is in pretty bad company.
I speak their language, Matt. Now I'll make a deal to get Lane and Yoakum back before we pay them a nickel. I'll tell them that we're raising the money.
But we're not.
Reckon you fellas could stand a drink of water on a day like this, couldn't you?
Thank you.
A lot easier to deal with if they're not too comfortable, Tiny.
See no harm in giving them a drink.
Can't waste it. Can't tell how stubborn them folks will be. How long we'll have to stay holed up here?
a whole waterfall right down the hill.
Never thought of that.
Senor Tate.
Well, Joaquin. Well, Joaquin, I gotta say, when you get a prisoner, you sure get a pretty one.
See, como no? But I do not think she like Joaquin. No matter. She will when she get to know me better. Maybe I give her that chance now, huh?
Wait. Hey, John. I got something here for you. The kid here will take care of her, Joaquin.
But, senor, did I not bring her?
Yeah. He's more her age.
It's all right, Juanito. I have lived much. It is for the young to live a little too, huh?
Come on, honey. Sit down. Wait a second. I'll get you a blanket. Now, what's your name?
Elizabeth Buckley. What's yours?
John Hartman, Jr.
You're all right. You're all right.
Susan, what's wrong? What are you doing here?
It's Elizabeth. She's gone. She's disappeared. I called and called, but she didn't answer. She didn't take a horse. She's just gone. Look, I found this on the ground near the corral.
Silas, set a table up on the porch of your store.
Right.
Beth, you can make a record of the contributions. Now, if there are no objections, we'll start with the money in the building fund. Come on, Silas.
Thank you. Bobby Hicks.
Thanks, Jess.
Mr. Rock, all the boys at the ranch are ready and waiting if you need them.
Good. How are we doing, Beth?
Over $32,000 already. They're digging deep, Matt. Some of them clear to the bottom of their life savings.
Well, maybe this will help. Well, everybody knows your story by now. About who you were, they don't care. Any more than Susan does. Beth's got pretty good proof of it over there. By tonight, we should have all the money we need.
I appreciate their concern, Matt. I guess I brought everything on myself. My son is an outlaw. My daughter is prisoner.
What do you expect? You think you'd just sit there tantalizing me and get away with it?
I wasn't.
I'd say you were.
Do you think your dad would approve of this?
What do you know about him?
Nothing.
Why'd you mention him then? Now, what do you know?
I just heard about him, that's all.
Around here? You hear about him around here?
No.
You're lying. Now, what did you hear? You hear he was alive?
You're hurting me.
I'll more than hurt you.
Please stop it. Stop it.
Just give me one good reason why I should.
Because I'm your sister.
What? You're lying to me, aren't you?
Yes, yes. I thought I'd make you leave me alone, that's all.
Don't you ever get me worked up about my daddy like that again. On the other hand, I'm sort of glad we ain't blood related.
What do you mean, treating a nice little girl like that, huh?
Somebody better teach that young brat some manners before I break his back.
What's the matter with you, Budinger?
He's forcing his way on that nice little girl, and I don't aim to watch no more of it.
You're getting a little soft, aren't you? Second time today.
I joined up with you. You didn't say nothing about treating prisoners like they wasn't human beings.
What's the difference? I didn't say anything about turning them back alive either.
I didn't bargain for nothing like that.
Well, just what did you bargain for? Maybe you'd rather be back there in town, taking part in an ice cream social.
Maybe I would.
I think you'd better reconsider what you just said.
Guess maybe I better at that.
Where you going?
It's time to relieve Billy.
Dude.
Take your stretch, Billy. I'll look after it. Well, I hear you talking, Dad. Glad to give you my seat, my rifle, and all the goodwill that goes with the job. What you staying here for? Well, I don't reckon there's anything going on up there to make me want to climb that hill. So I'll sit here and spell with you.
Going someplace, Tiny?
Hey!
What do you want?
Tiny Buddinger's riding out. Where's he going?
Stop him! Shoot him!
I will get him, senor.
Then get going. And don't miss.
2 men riding hard this way!
Why, Mr. Rock, that outlaw's walking right straight into town.
Yeah, look who it is. Tiny Buddinger.
Don't none of you folks start shooting now. I'm coming in friendly like.
And I thought we got rid of all them Budinger brothers that time in Lead City.
Yeah, so did I.
There's one that ain't gonna bother you folks no more. It's all right. Never did use it much. Besides, I was coming in to help you folks anyhow.
Yeah, why?
You're Mr. Rockford, ain't you?
That's right. Why did you quit the master's outfit?
Well, I never did take to treating folks the way they do.
That's pretty strange talk coming from a Buddinger.
That's just the trouble, Mr. Rockford. Them no-count brothers of mine been getting me in trouble ever since I can remember. I never did go along with them or the things they do.
It's pretty hard to believe that one Buddinger would be that much different from the other 4.
Reckon I can't blame folks much for that. They just naturally expect me to be like my brothers. I've been on the run all my life. Even changed my name once. But anybody ever seen that brother Carl of mine, they just naturally got to know who I am. We was the only two that had the same paw, you know. That's just because we was both born at the same time.
You talk like you don't know the others are dead.
You dead? My brothers?
That's right, all 4 of them. You're the only one left.
That's right. I guess.
Reckon I ought to be sad about that. Them being my brothers. I guess I am a little. But I always knowed it was gonna happen. Mr. Rockford, now I got a chance to lead my own life for a change. I ain't gonna have to stay on the move no more. I can lighten, stay put in the same place.
You said you'd be willing to help us.
Yes, sir. I don't belong out there, them outlaws. I ain't no fast gun. Never was. Folks just expected me, being a Buddinger, I had to be like Tate Masters. I had no choice but join up with him. Now, it ain't that I don't like a good fight now and then. Just with my hands. Kind of like to stay in shape, you understand? Now, I want all you folks to understand that I ain't got no tricks up my sleeve. I came here to help you against that Tate Masters outfit. If you let me prove that to you, maybe you won't mind too much if I stayed right here in your town to live.
Let's give him a chance.
Well, now, I don't know. We got enough hands around here to take care of them outlaws if we need them.
Now, who might that little fella be?
My name's Jess Williams, and I work for Mr. Rock.
Well, just you move over, little fella, because you just got about 300 pounds of help.
Better let me take a look at this.
I'll tell you nothing. Bullet went clean through. It'll be all right tomorrow.
Yeah, if you don't bleed to death by then. Tiny, if we decided to go up on that plateau and try to get him, would you help us?
Ain't thinking nothing I'd enjoy any better.
Thanks.
They got one sentry here, on the rim of that cliff. Then they got another one here, where the tunnel behind the fall comes out.
We just might be able to do it. There are only 10 of them left now with you and Joaquin out of the way.
8.
I thought there were 12.
Well, there was, but you see, Dude Morgan and Ozark Billy sort of got in my way when I was fixing to leave.
How do you know they're dead?
'Cause I hit them.
Over the barricade! Mr. Rockford!
Thank you. I hope you consider this a fair trade for Tiny Buttinger. Also, the price has gone up to $100,000. The deputy and the girl will be returned alive only if you comply. Tate Masters. Take care of him. Think he's telling the truth?
He's lying to you about leaving them two alive.
What do you mean?
That's what Tate said. I was objecting to that Hartman kid roughing up that nice little old girl, and he told me it didn't make no difference nohow. He wasn't going to let none of them come back alive.
Just how was he roughing her up?
Well, he was kind of holding her tight like, and hugging her and trying to kiss her and such, all against her will.
Matt, I'm going with you. I can help. I'll do whatever you say as long as I can get inside that camp.
All right, Will. As soon as it's dark and most of the men are asleep.
Now remember, no more talking beyond this point. You all know what you have to do, and it all has to go off like clockwork. If you've got any questions, now's the time to ask them. Well, how about you, Tiny? Jess, any questions?
Take it easy. I'm a friend.
I doubt it.
Name's John Hartman.
How would I?
You don't, so why worry about it? You just take me up there where you got help. If you're afraid of me.
That's how scared I am. Come on.
Your kid was looking forward to the time his old man would come looking for him.
I tried to get here sooner, but Too many people would have missed me.
Boys will be real glad you've decided to join us, Hartman. Might as well let them know now.
No. Let him sleep. I'd like to have a private talk with my son first.
Sure, I understand. Go on back down the hill, Ace. I'll take him to his kid. Go on. Wake him up.
Now, Ace, old friend, you get off a tape when I tell you to, so I don't have to break your neck, you hear?
No fooling, kid. It's your old man, John Hartman himself.
Hello, John. We're looking forward to this.
You ain't fooling me now. You really are my pa?
It's the truth.
Hey! Send a couple of men down here. Right away.
Ace, old friend, thank you much.
Herman, Drummond, get down below and see what's ailing Ace.
Well, you know, she wasn't lying to me after all. She said you were alive.
Who?
That little petticoat. I knew you'd hear about me and come looking for me.
I come looking for you, all right. I heard about you from Tiny Buttinger.
Nobody does that to me and lives, not even you. Draw. I said draw!
Everything all right down there, Tiny? Yes, sir. Me and my little buddy did the job. Well, come on up.
Tiny, I want to talk to you.
Huh?
I think Mr. Rock and I might let you stay in Cimarron City.
Well, thank you, little fella.
It's all right, son. You're not hit bad.
Don't call me son. My old man is dead.
I couldn't let him kill you, Dad. Please forgive me. Please, Dad. Please.
Cimarron City was back to normal in no time. And we weren't worried now about raising church building funds or any other kind of funds for quite a while. The reward money for Tate Master's outfit was enough to build several churches, pipe organs and all. We didn't stop having our ice cream socials, though. After all, the young fellas still wanted to show off their muscles turning the ice cream freezers. Jesse wanted to impress the kids with his rope tricks. And friends, well, friends just wanted to see friends.